this is Colleen McGee, and you're listening to another episode of Fort Riley, the podcast. This month is Native American Heritage Month, and we have two guests who are Army civilian employees and members of the Navajo Nation. They're here to share a little about their experience and culture in honor of Native American Heritage Month.
Hi, my name is Gabrielle Vell, and I work at In-N-Out Processing at Fort Riley, Kansas.
Hi, my name is Juliana Johnson. I work at the Deer's office.
So November is Native American Heritage Month. So talk to me, each of you, about where you're from.
I'm originally from Farmington, New Mexico, the Four Corners area.
I'm originally from Castle Butte, which is near Delcon, Arizona.
I am Navajo. They go by Dene.
I'm Navajo too, and I'm Dene as well.
My grandfather on my father's side was in World War II, and he went overseas. So that hearing his stories through the younger years when I was growing up was very emotional, and just hearing his stories was really surprising to me because he still wanted to do what he wanted to do in being in the military. But when he first started out, he was very young, and he didn't have an English name. So when he was joined up to the Army and went overseas, he needed a name. And so since he didn't have a name, an English name, he came up with a name. And my maiden name is Bitsui, which means grandchild in Navajo. So my maiden name is Bitsui. So his name was Frank Bitsui. So that's how he came up with his name. Our last name anyways.
My inspiration for my family is actually going to be my grandpa. His name is Joe Begay. He was in the Vietnam. He did pass away a long time ago. He did earn some Purple Hearts, honorary medals. He is an inspiration for me just because he's gone through a lot, and I did see him all the way through the end. So, I'm glad that I'm part of his family. I'm part of him as well. My maiden name is Begay, as known as my son.
So tell me about what each of you brings from your heritage.
The sense of family, of being connected with having a close-knit family. Even though you don't have family here, you kind of find your surrounding of friends and coworkers become your family. So coming from a big family, and that was a big thing when we were growing up, it was always about family. So anywhere we went, when my late husband we were going from one post to another, I always made sure I tried to find me a little group to make my own family. And so I wasn't so lonely, and I would teach them traditions as well, traditional foods, what we did, ceremonial stuff. If there was a powwow nearby, I would try to take them there. So kind of trying to bring that culture into somebody that had no idea about our culture at all.
For me, I go along with Gabby. I do agree with family, and then also mainly I grew up on the res, but not really. Mainly my mom taught me is learn how to be your own individual. I did learn how to associate with other natives, and pretty soon I started learning, oh, she's native. And that's how I met Gabby, and I'm like, are you native? And she was like, yes. God dang. It's learning how to say, not being scared to introduce yourself to other natives, and, being oh, you're native. I understand. Yeah. Even though they're not Navajo, they could be other cultures, and you can tell the difference on that.
What is your favorite thing about being Navajo? When being away from the natural family and out here with the families that you've created, what is your favorite thing to bring into that?
I guess the culture itself, because like I said before, not a lot of, other people know what we as, Native people do, ceremonial things, bringing that culture and experience to, my friends or my coworkers or just anybody who wants to learn about it. And that's what I love. I love teaching, people about my culture.
And I do the same thing as well. I teach people about my culture, just like Gabby. And everyone's think I'm different cultures, but I'm no, I'm just one Navajo.
I guess it's just a popular thing. People always ask, how do you say hello? It's yad eh. And then how do you say goodbye? Well, we never say goodbye. There's no such thing. We always say see you later because that's just a thing. We're going to see you later. We're not hoping for that to end. So instead of saying see you later or saying goodbye, we say see you later, and it's going it.
When I meet other people, and especially natives, just like Gabby, I go yate. She goes yate, and then we say each other's clans to make us more family oriented. My clan is Tachitni Nishne, Sanjikine, Bashichin, Tochotni, Deshache, Kiani, Deshanella. So, like, when I introduce myself to Gabby, then she'll tell me, oh, you're my sister.
Yeah, that's how we distinguish each other because of relations, because we're such a big tribe that you're never alone. You don't have family. Yes, you do have family. So we go off with the four clan, your four clans, which is your mother's clan, and your father's clan. And then you go from there, you go from your mother's father's clan, and then your father's clan. So that's how we distinguish each other as brother or sister, cousins. We don't have first cousins. We don't have third cousins. We're all, that's like if her and I were related, her kids and I would be their second, like their mom, and our kids would be brothers and sisters. So we don't have the cousins relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What has been something that you wish more people understood about your culture?
That we're still around.
Yeah. Like we're still here.
There's a lot of us, and we're still around, and we still struggle as far as not just, I think, our generation, but, my mother, my father generation as well. We're still around. We're still here. However, the poverty is still there. My grandfather, he passed away in 96, and he waited his whole life to get electricity. It didn't get there until the Navajo Nation, where my grandfather lived, until like 97. So he was not able to live until up to the date where he got electricity. That's all he wanted. So there's still a lot of poverty out there, but I just want everybody to know that yes, we're still around, but yes, our culture is struggling. The reservation doesn't have adequate living spaces, running water. Some places don't even have electricity still.
We don't live in teepees.
Yes.
We don't live in teepees, okay? No, we don't live in teepees. So everyone's is different. For me, with my grandpa, the tribe did build him a house, but yet he didn't. He refused to actually live in it. He still chose to live in a hogan, and he always says, "Well, the house that's built from the tribe is not going to be warm enough for me. It's not gonna. What's wrong with my house?" He was always stuck in his ways, but. Later on, they kind of had to scoot him in there, and then they're like, no, it's more accessible for you. He finally was able to bend just a little bit, but he was like, no, I'm bringing this in here. So, but the hard thing about with the elders is change. I understand. They are like foundation to the future of us. So I always go back to the teachings and tell my kids, like, you respect your elders regardless of if it's native or non-native. You respect your elders.
What do you hope to bring and to contribute back into your culture?
I guess just to teach, again, the culture, that we as Native people love our culture. We love their ceremonies, the Mother Earth. We are all about Mother Earth and how it works, and we want to make sure that she is taken care of. So I think a lot of what I would like to contribute is more of my background of, ceremonies and the culture, how we live, is what I would like to bring.
I do see that my family asked me a lot of my opinions, how they should apply for certain jobs and how to do corrections on their resumes. And it's just like, small things. I'm always willing to help family out. Just a simple resume or just going back home, helping out for a ceremony.
I think we get that a lot from our families, like the younger maybe generation or even people who are our own age asking maybe one of us for help. Like I know I have, relatives that ask me for my opinion as well because, haven't been home in so long. I have left. So I've kind of been all over the place being married, to a soldier that passed away. So now that I'm more educated in the military and being Native American, which gives them, saying, yes, you can come to me for help and advice because I feel like I'm well educated in that area.
Thank you for listening to Fort Riley, the podcast.